1 centimeter. That's all it takes for your carry-on to get rejected in 2026. You get a last-second gate check. You pay the highest fee. Then you're standing there, pulling out meds, batteries, and anything you can't risk losing. Airlines judge the outside dimensions of your bag when it's packed, not the cabin tag you bought years ago. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 ways carry-ons get rejected, plus a few packing fixes and one-line gate saves that actually help when it happens. We start with the size lock, and there's one part almost everyone forgets to account for: the stuff that sticks out. Wheels, a handle bump, a bulging pocket, that's where it fits becomes gate check it. Here's the only test that matters. Slide, don't shove. If your bag doesn't go in smoothly, it's not a carry-on at the gate, no matter what the tag used to say. The second you start pushing, you just answered the question. And it's getting more black and white. Some airports use automated sizers, so you find out before anyone hears your story. The suitcase body usually isn't what fails you. It's the snag points, wheels, that little handle bump, a stuffed front pocket you forgot was temporary. Do one home dry run, pack it like a real trip, then measure it outside to outside, height, width, depth, with wheels and handles included, and don't cut it close. Aim a little under the posted size so a tight sizer or a stuffed pocket doesn't push you over. If it's borderline at home, it's a gate check later. If they stop you, keep it clean and protect the essentials. No problem. Give me 10 seconds to pull my meds and batteries. Quick angle shift into rule number 9. The gate doesn't only look at size. Some bags pass the sizer and still get flagged because of how you carry them. Gate staff can spot a heavy bag before they ever weigh it. If you're doing the shoulder dip, the strap's cutting in, or your arm shakes on the lift, your bag is basically raising its hand. 2 questions, fast. First, do they weigh items separately or combined? On some airlines, it's one total, so moving your laptop from bag A to bag B doesn't save you. Same weight, different pockets. Second, what's dense? It's rarely clothes. It's the heavy little stuff: laptop, brick charger, power bank, camera gear. Make one grab bundle for dense gear. Keep it together. If you need to adjust at the airport, you move one bundle and you're done. No floor show. No where did my passport go? If you're over, wearing weight is your emergency button. One jacket pocket, one item, then put it back once you're past the scale. The reason rule number 8 matters is this: even if your weight is fine, the fastest stop comes from how many items you're juggling. Your boarding pass says 2 items. Your arms say, "I'm moving apartments." This is where 2026 gets petty in a very expensive way. The personal item used to be the freebie nobody cared about. Full flights changed the mood. Gate staff don't have time for aisle clutter, overhead bin chaos, or 5 separate little bags swinging off one person like accessories. The underseat rule is simple on paper. If it can't sit fully under the seat in front of you without invading the aisle or your neighbor's foot space, it's not a personal item anymore. It becomes a second carry-on, which turns into a gate check real fast. A lot of people get caught on the count, not the size. Purse plus laptop sleeve plus shopping bag plus backpack still reads like 4 items. Staff don't grade on vibes. Tiny twist that burns people. The seat you picked can make this worse. Bulkhead and some first-row seats don't give you underseat storage during takeoff and landing. Your personal item has to go overhead. If bins are already tight, that's the moment your day goes sideways. My go-to move is what I call the nesting doll rule. Your personal item is the container. Everything else becomes a guest. Purse goes inside the backpack. Laptop sleeve goes inside the backpack. Even the airport shopping bag gets folded or stuffed inside before you reach the gate. It looks boring, which is exactly why it works. Want a fast check that doesn't turn into a luggage science project? Put the personal item on the floor at home and look at it from the side. If it stands tall like a mini fridge, it's going to fight the underseat space. Soft-sided and squishable wins in 2026. Structured and boxy loses. If someone stops you, don't explain your life story. Just comply in one sentence. Got it. I'll combine everything into one personal item right here. That keeps you in control instead of doing the awkward gate shuffle while boarding keeps moving. This gets even nastier with the next rule, since the bag that technically fits can still get rejected the moment it looks overstuffed, especially if it has an expansion zipper. Do this once at home. Set your carry-on on the floor. Take 6 steps back and look at it the way a gate agent would. Does it look calm, or does it look inflated? That second zipper is the giveaway. The moment the expansion is open, your bag stops looking normal and starts looking like it needs a separate boarding pass. Here's the quick rule. If the expansion zipper is open, close it. Keep it closed from home to seat. Save the expansion for the return trip. If you're worried about souvenirs, tuck a thin, foldable tote inside your personal item and leave it there until you're actually on the plane. And if the front panel looks puffy, flatten it. That front panel is where eyes land first. Pull out the bulky offenders, like a hoodie, big headphones, or that brick charger, and move them into your underseat bag so your carry-on reads like one clean rectangle again. Real talk, I used to pack like I was trying to beat a world record, and then I'd act surprised when my bag got all the attention. If you get checked at the gate, don't give a speech. One bulky item out, silhouette fixed. And if you're thinking, why won't they just let it slide? Rule number 6 answers that. Because sometimes the gate agent literally can't. Ever tried charming your way out of a fee? Works for a late hotel checkout. At the gate, it's a conveyor belt. In 2026, a lot of gate agents aren't being strict. They're running a workflow that rewards speed and consistency. They're expected to apply the policy the same way, every time. When your bag gets called out, it's rarely personal. It's the process. So the smartest move isn't persuading, it's switching to options mode. On many airlines, paying at the gate can cost more than paying earlier because they're trying to discourage last-second bag problems and speed up boarding. That's why I ask one question immediately. If I pay this in the app right now, is it cheaper than paying here? If the app price is lower, you just avoided paying more at the gate. If it's the same, you still win because you can pay fast, get it handled, and stop burning boarding time. 2 habits that keep you in control. Anything you can't lose lives in your personal item, every time. If your main bag gets taken, you're annoyed, not stranded. And if you need to consolidate, do it fast and clean. The gate is not where you unpack your whole life. Bottom line, treat the gate like a checkout lane. Find the cheapest option fast, keep your essentials on you, and keep the line moving. And no, status doesn't turn a full flight into extra bin space. Rule number 5 is where that myth gets tested. Status is priority. Fare is permission. You can board early and still be under seat only. Here's the sneaky 2026 shift. Airlines are separating 2 ideas people used to lump together. You can be allowed a bag and still not be allowed to use the overhead bin. Your ticket might permit a carry-on by weight or size, but your fare only comes with underseat rights. Overhead becomes something you pay for, or something your fare has to include. So the real question isn't, do I have status? It's, what did I buy, and does it include overhead? Do a 10-second scan in your reservation and hunt for exact wording like, personal item only, or small bag under the seat. That's the rule, not a suggestion. If that line is there, walking up with a roller and a smile is basically volunteering for a tag. This varies by airline and fare, but the wording in your booking wins. Personal confession. I've had the shiny status brain rot. I saw priority and assumed trumpets. Then the app politely reminded me I bought the fare that comes with a backpack and optimism. Full flights make this sharper. Once bins are basically done, tagging starts, status or not. So if overhead matters to you and your fare includes it, treat boarding like timing, not a personality test. When your group is called, go. The bin game is short, and it ends fast. Rule number 4 flips the angle. Even if your size and fare are fine, what's inside your bag can still trigger a delay. I know why a bunch of you clicked. You saw the thumbnail and went, wait, power banks are getting people stopped now? Yeah. That warning look isn't banned forever. It's, this is where people get pulled, delayed, or have it taken. On US flights, power banks are allowed, but carry-on only, and they're one of the fastest ways to trigger a bag check when the rules aren't followed. First, the power-on rule isn't just a casual request. At some international airports, the UK is explicit about this. If an officer asks you to turn on a phone, laptop, tablet, it needs to boot. If it can't, it's hard to verify quickly, and they can refuse it for the flight. If they ask, you want it to boot immediately, while the line keeps moving without you. I learned this the annoying way. I used to save battery like it was a personality trait. Phone limping, laptop at 0. I wasn't being efficient. I was creating a delay. Do this before you leave. Give your main devices enough juice to turn on instantly. Not 100%, just proof of life. Keep one short cable where you can grab it without digging. Now, the real reason power banks get tossed? The 100 watt-hour limit. Here is the catch. The rule is in watt-hours, but your battery usually lists milliamps. Skip the conversion math. Just know that a standard 20,000 milliamp hour bank is safe. The real trap is the label. If that sticker is faded or missing, security can't verify it, and it doesn't fly. Pack to move. Keep power banks and spare lithium batteries together in one small pouch with the markings visible. Don't scatter loose batteries at the bottom of your bag. And here's the edge case that saves trips. If your carry-on gets gate checked, pull the power bank and spare batteries out first and keep them with you. Last piece people don't connect. Newer CT scanners can let electronics stay inside your bag. But stacking devices can still trigger a bag pull. Keep electronics in a flatter layer with a little spacing for metal and you glide through cleaner. Rule number 3 is where it gets brutal. Liquids and normal toiletries turn into the fastest confiscation on the planet, including one item people swear is a solid, until TSA disagrees. Your toiletry bag is tiny, and it's still the fastest way to lose time at security. If it smears or squishes, security treats it like a liquid at screening. Peanut butter, hair gel, creamy makeup, sunscreen. That's the toast test. If you could spread it on toast, pack it like a liquid. On US flights, the baseline most people run into is still 3.4 ounces per container, all in that clear quart bag. Go bigger, and it usually turns into a bin donation. The 2026 trap is scanner whiplash. Some airports, especially with newer CT lanes, may run looser liquid handling on certain days or in certain terminals. Then you connect or fly home through a strict airport and suddenly the exact same kit gets held up. Treat the easy airport like a perk. What saves you is boring. A travel-size kit that's already packed. Same pouch, same layout. No rebuilding at midnight like it's a science fair. One detail people miss. Security goes by the container size, not how full it is. If you pour 50 milliliters into a bottle that's clearly over 100 milliliters or 3.4 ounces, you're inviting questions. Big silicone bottles are great for checked bags. Carry-on needs actually small containers. Powders count too. Protein powder, coffee, baby powder, makeup, anything around 12 ounces or 350 milliliters and up can trigger extra screening internationally. Split it smaller or check it. Duty-free has a US twist. If you arrive internationally and connect domestically, you usually pick up your checked bag after immigration. That's when you put any duty-free bottle into checked luggage before you go back through TSA. If you're carry-on only, keep it sealed until you're done flying. Pack for the strict lane, even if your first airport feels easy. Okay, connection problem next. Your bag stays the same, your next plane doesn't. Your bag didn't get bigger. Your second plane got smaller. This is the one that makes people feel crazy, because Flight 1 was fine. Then your connection flips the physics. Tiny bins, different reality. Regional jets don't have the overhead space your roller needs, so your carry-on isn't wrong. It's just not going up there. If you see CRJ or ERJ, yeah, it looks like a Wi-Fi password. Assume your roller is on borrowed time. The 2026 twist people aren't ready for. Even on small planes, you can't count on getting your bag back at the aircraft door every time. On some routes, it gets sent straight into the system to keep the turnaround moving. So lock in the two outcomes. Planeside handoff, tagged at the door, returned planeside after landing, when they do it. Checked through. It disappears until baggage claim at your final stop. Since you can't assume the nicer option, pack like it's going checked through. Do these two things and you stay in control. Before you leave home, check the aircraft type in your app. If it's regional, either switch to a soft-sided bag that can compress or pack your roller like you're ready to hand it over without a meltdown. Then at the gate, confirm one thing. Is this coming back plain side or checked through to the final? If it's checked through, don't burn time trying to charm the policy. Unzip, grab what you'll need during the connection, zip it back up, and roll. You're ready for the last rule. Rule number 1 is where this turns expensive, because waiting until the gate is how a small problem becomes the priciest fee. Ever tried to add a bag later and the button basically says, cute? In 2026, the problem isn't the suitcase, it's the clock. On a lot of airlines, the best price lives before check-in. After you check in, options can shrink and the price can jump into airport territory even if you're still at home. I learned this the dumb way from the guy next to me in line. He shows me his phone like we're comparing receipts. $40 last night, $120 at the airport. Same bag, same flight, different moments. So here's the move. When your airline app sends that last chance notification about 24 hours out, don't ignore it. Open Manage Booking, look at the bag price, screenshot it, then decide before you hit check-in. If you wait until after, you're dealing with a locked screen. That's the clock rule. Pay when you still have options, not when the system has you cornered. Before your next flight, do one 30-second reset. Glance at your allowance, confirm the cutoff window, and if you see operated by, treat that as the real rulebook. That beats any pro packing hack. If this helped, hit like and subscribe, and drop a comment with your worst carry-on fee, airline, exact amount, and route. I'm collecting the pain points so people stop paying tuition at the gate.